Hi everyone, it's Dinner Splash back with the next instalment of the Chronological UK Bluray Steelbook review. Two in just over 2 days, but I figured, get a little bit more caught up on them, because I was doing them pretty frequently and then I sort of slowed down. So got two this week to try and get back up a bit. So this is numbers 321 to 340. We started off the last video a few days ago with the first 6 from the 25th of November. So we're going to continue on. There's another 4 releases for that day and 2 for the day after, which really will probably release on the 25th, but they had a release date of the 26th. We're going to start off with Red 2. This is an HMV exclusive. There hadn't been many of them at the time. Wolverine had come before it. This has got a really nice debossed title and a nice glossy finish. And this is from E1. They seem to be doing a lot of the exclusives now for HMV. I think they're doing Ender's Game. They did Riddick as well. So yeah, inside is the disc, and pretty standard inside. At least it has all the information on the inside on this one, instead of being on the outside like a lot of them do. So that we have the nice, nice clean back to it. And yeah, this one is still widely available. I think it was only £15 when it first came out, so it's probably still around that price. So yeah, very easy to pick up. Next up, we come back to some Zavvi exclusives. 2 Transformers releases. First up, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, and this has got a nice embossed title all down the side here. Nice border as well. Really cool artwork on this. This is a lot different to the German release, which I've still got. I did try and sell my German trilogy, but I've still got them, so I've got the English trilogy and the German trilogy, although at least on the first few films they are different. A nice artwork on the inside as well, the eyes, and then we also have, of course, Transformers Dark of the Moon, which unfortunately is identical in a lot of ways to the German release, which used to be worth quite a lot of money. There are a few little differences. Most significantly, as we look at the title, which has Dark of the Moon embossed as well. Revenge of the Fallen was embossed on the last one. This is matte finish, and the German release is glossy. Also has a bonus disc, but it's just the DVD copy of the film, whereas this one just has the movie on Blu-ray. And really nice inside work on this, but yeah, those are the 2 differences. So the German release is probably still better in that respect, because of the fact that it's glossy and not matte. But yeah, those 2 are still available from Zavvi. They did actually drop down in price quite a bit. I actually got spares, but yeah, they're still available. So next up we have one that's definitely not available. The World's End. This is not an exclusive to anywhere. Released by Universal, and just like Kick-Ass 2, which will come up on very shortly, they didn't make many copies. No one's still sure how many they made, but it could be somewhere in around the 4,000 mark, which is, if it had been an exclusive at Zavvi, ironically it probably would still be available. It's got a nice glossy finish. Unfortunately, this steelbook does have a lot of problems with small scratches on it, which is something that was a manufacturing issue. I don't know many people who have a minty mint one, but it's as best as you're going to get, and you'd rather have it in any fashion really than not at all, especially with the going rate for it right now, which is £40–50. So yeah, there's the inside artwork as well. It really caught everyone by surprise, and that's why now any sort of major releases are being pre-ordered pretty quickly. I know Wolf of Wall Street, there's a lot of hope for that one, and that one could go out of print pretty quickly after release. So yeah, this one was a bit of a surprise for a lot of people. We now move on to the 26th of November releases, which is a bit odd because that was on Tuesday, but there were 2 Artificial Eye releases. First up, 13 Assassins, which has a nice glossy finish to it. Yeah, it's a nice release. Inside out was a bit plain, but Artificial Eye have decided to make this available to everyone in April. It's not going to be an exclusive to Zavvi anymore. Quite why they're doing that, I don't know, because this didn't sell out. It's obviously a bit of a niche title, as is the next one we have, which is Zatoichi. In fact, I bought both of these for about £8-9 at Christmas, and they'd only been out about a month at that point. But they're going to be £13 everywhere, so I don't know if they're making more copies, if they expect to sell them. I'm not sure how they could, but there you go. So this is a matte finish. Both of them are still available at Savvy as well, but they will, you know, obviously drop the exclusivity part. But I am a little bit perplexed as to why they're doing this. Same with BFI with Seven Samurai. They're doing the same thing. They're going to be putting that out there as a non-exclusive, but again, I don't know why they're bothering, because it didn't sell out the first time. Okay, so now we move on to the 2nd of December, and we have 9 steelbooks for the 2nd of December. It was a pretty crazy time. Too many steelbooks coming out, to be honest. I didn't buy all of these on the 2nd because I'd have been bankrupt before Christmas. The first up is Alan Partridge, Alta Papa, and this is a Lionsgate release. This was originally quite hard to find. My first one was damaged, but luckily this one is mint. He says that as he sees a scratch on the bloody back, so that's going to have to get replaced. Brilliant. Fortunately, it's still available. But yeah, that's annoying. I didn't see that scratch before. So here's the Blu-ray disc and DVD. Still available. Obviously, Studio Canal are kind of ramping up the prices on a lot of their steelbooks. But this one is a little bit cheaper than some of the others. But yeah, altogether it's a pretty decent looking steelbook. It's obviously a matte finish. There's no embossing or debossing. But I do like the back. I said that really scratch I found. So now we can move on to a couple of non-exclusives. First up, actually this is never mind. This is not exclusive. The next one is Conan the Barbarian. This one's done super cheap. It's about £6-7 I think now. That I've seen it for. Savvy has been selling it off cheap. Which is a shame because it's a nice release. It's got a nice embossed title there. Has a border. Has some nice sort of old school related artwork. And the disc there, the inside artwork's okay as well, I suppose. But yeah, it's gotten super cheap. So you probably won't have any problems picking this up for quite some considerable time. The next one is actually Savvy exclusive, Die Hard 2. They really do seem to be, you know, keeping these prices high. For whatever reason, the Die Hards must be selling pretty well because they haven't had to drop them to massive reductions like others. But yeah, I think it's still at the £15 mark, but you'll probably be able to pick it up cheap if they ever give any more codes out. It's got the embossed title there and border. This is another one that's pretty tough to open. And as I say, the back artwork, it definitely fits in with Die Hard, and it will fit in with Die Hard 4. I'm sure. I don't actually have Die Hard 4 yet. I've got to pick that one up. There's a few Savvy exclusives from the last few weeks I haven't got around to getting yet, but they will be here by the time I get to them in the chronological order. So next up we have another one that's not an exclusive, but seems to be keeping high prices most of the time. There was a drop, I think somewhere I had it cheap at one point, £12 or something, maybe Sainsbury's, but they're no longer going to offer anything. Hangover Trilogy, it's got a lovely embossed title and wolf as well. Limited edition. It's a 4-disc release. I think that the bonus disc is only available in the trilogy, which I always think is a bit of a con. Whether that be the Amaray trilogy or this one. So we'll just put some of the back artwork there. Is the discs, obviously that's the bonus disc, wolf pack only. But yeah, to go admit, I'm not a huge fan of the films. I mean, I watched the first one, but because it was overhyped, I think. It was alright, but it wasn't anything amazing. And from what I gather, the second and third ones don't get any better; they just get worse. So I don't know if I'll, ever get around to buy, to watching them. But yeah, that's why that one was one of the ones I bought later on. Okay, so next up is one of the most disappointing releases of the week, Man of Steel 3D. They could have done a lot more with this. It could have been a lot better. It's just a matte finish. It's got 3D plastered all over it, which, as we've mentioned in recent videos, is something Warner Brothers are doing. They've done it on a few releases now. I mean, there's nothing there on the back there. There could have been something. They really could have done it a lot better with it. Obviously, even the discs are black and white, but that's just what Warner Brothers give you these days. The inside artwork is okay, but there really should have been something on the back, and it definitely should have had a glossy an embossed treatment for this release, but it didn't, and as a result it's still around, but it has kept quite a high price. But again, that's just the sign of the times. Non-exclusives are keeping a higher price than exclusives these days. There you go. Next up for this week, 2nd of December, still on that. Only God Forgives. This is a Zavvi exclusive, released by Lionsgate. The artwork was apparently a competition winner. So there you go. You can say well done or that's awful to whoever came up with the design. I think it's pretty cool. It's a disc there. This one has, I think, come down from its original price a little, but it's still available. I'm surprised. I think a lot of people thought maybe this would sell out after the director's, previous film Drive had done so well, Steelbook. But no, it's still available. As is this next one. It's the Lone Ranger. The current trend of Disney releasing Steelbooks. This is the first of 3 Disneys in a row, I'm sure. Of having no title on the front or anything, and also on the spine there's nothing. You just don't know what it is. Altogether, I think it's a pretty decent looking steelbook. It's come back up to £22. I don't think it's worth that, but nevertheless, it's pretty decent if you can pick it up for £15 or whatever, if it ever goes that low. But I wouldn't say buy too much, buy it for too much more than that. Next up we have The Nightmare Before Christmas. This one has some debossed eyes on Jack Skellington, and there's the smile there as well. The rest of it is just matte finish. There's no other embossing on it, but a little bit debossing. Pretty cool release. This one has gone in and out of print a few times, or in and out of stock, sorry. It is now out of stock, and it's probably going to stay that way because they did reduce it. But yeah, it's a pretty decent release. But I have a double dip because I've got the 3D Amory as well, and my batteries are going to die. I was trying to do this quickly, but not too quickly. If it dies, it dies, and this won't go up for a few days, so you'll know. So this is the last one from the 2nd of December. It's Planes, and this one, a lot of people don't even want this in the collection, but it has got some nice embossing here on the propeller, and the title is embossed as well. Obviously border is expected. It's pretty decent, even if the film isn't up to much. It's a better steelbook than some of the other Disney releases recently. Still available, and I'm sure it'll be available for quite a while. I'll wait for a drop on this one. I mean, I paid with a discount, but I'd say 15 is probably the maximum you should pay for that one. Okay, so the final 5 for this video, and these are the first 5 of the 9th of December. First up we have an Entertainment Store exclusive, which is still available, shockingly. I love this steelbook. It's one of my favourites of the year. 2 guns, got a lovely debossed title there. I just really like the artwork on this. It's really well done. Who released this again? It's Entertainment 1. They're pretty good. Limited edition of 4,000, but they have reduced the price on this. In fact, from I think it was $16.79.99 when it first came out. They dropped it recently to $11.99, and then it went back up, and now it's come back down to $12.99. But there's still, there's under 1,000 left, but there's still plenty left. But if you want one now, the absolute bargain for £12-13. I would definitely recommend getting it. It's a lovely release. So now we've got some Zavvi exclusives to finish this off. First up we have Anchorman. This is from Paramount. Lovely release, this one. Very nice wooden effect. We've got an embossed title here, and Sex Panther on the back. This, along with the sequel, which is going to be an Entertainment Store exclusive. Really looking forward to them. Both have 2 versions of the films, or 2 disc releases. Really good stuff, and this one I'll definitely pick up. Pretty sure it's still available, so grab it while you can, because it is very nice, and I think it is a world exclusive artwork as well. Pretty sure on that one. But yeah, really cool. Then next we have another release from Paramount, Beverly Hills Cop, as they came out the same day, and this one has a really nice embossed Beverly Hills, but not Cop. Nice original sort of like DVD artwork, I guess you could call it video artwork, from back in the day. Obviously an awesome film. I'm still hoping that they're going to give us the 2nd and 3rd ones on Bluray Steelbook. rather than having to buy the trilogy. But we shall wait and see. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, the battery died, and 3 hours later, it's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I can now finish off this video. I was just 2 away from getting it done, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Okay, so we're with the Beverly Hills Cop. So the last two, both Zavvi exclusives. First up we have The Conjuring. This one, it was obviously a new Blu-ray at the time, new release. I think it was about £17. It's come down a few pounds here and there and gone back up again, but it should still be around that price. It's quite a nice release it's got, and the embossed title, and also the noose is embossed as well. Obviously it's got the border. It's a pretty creepy looking back artwork as well. And then inside we have the usual pretty plain disc from Warner Brothers. And the inside artwork is pretty dark, but it's okay. So yeah, I think this one's still available as well, but it's a pretty decent release. It's always nice to have the extra embossing, and it's not just the title, and they do go with a little bit extra. And so finally, finishing off this video, we have Jackie Brown with the Quentin Tarantino artwork that apparently he said was good enough to be on the cover. This one's still available as well. I think a lot of people thought this would sell out quick because Pulp Fiction did, but Reservoir Dogs didn't. So you never really know with these things. But it's got a nice old school artwork cover here. It's a matte finish. Got Jackie Brown on the back, and inside here the disc, which was the same as the Amaray, and inside some nice sort of candid photos inside there. So yeah, this one's still around for I think about £15. Yeah, still available, but it's pretty good release. So yeah, we'll finally finish this off now. It's taken a bit longer than I hoped for, but I'll get this put straight up. So hopefully you're looking at this on Wednesday evening. I shall be back with another Bluray Steelbook update, probably tomorrow. What day is it? Thursday, well it might be Saturday, but I do have the Corpse Bride that I've ordered, and I've also got some Disney releases that have all been sent, Cars 3D, Up 3D, and what's the other two? 101 Dalmatians and Mary Poppins. So yeah, should have a video with them probably Saturday, and then I've also got Ender's Game that I'm going to have next week, HMV exclusive. But for now, that'll do for this video. There'll be another chronological review probably in about a week, and that'll follow on from this with number 341, which will finish off the 9th of December, and it should then take us into 2014, so we'll be getting closer to being caught up. So yeah, until next time, thanks again for watching. See you again soon. Bye for now.